salt region of Argentina. It is home to the right whale. But also, for a few months a year, it's a breeding ground for elephant seals. These mammals spend 9 months a year at sea. They're consummate divers who can dive to over 650 feet and can stand for 30 minutes at a stretch. Our guide, Carlos Sanchez, urged us not to stand while approaching the seals, as that would be taken as a sign of aggression. Looking at this bull's snout, you can see why they're called elephant seals. They are the giants of the pinniped family, up to 21 feet long, and some weighing 4 tons. They spend most of their time on shore lounging, unless they think they're being challenged.
What a contrast to be so tentative next to one of the big bulls, one of the big males, and to where I was completely accepted by this young elephant seal and its mother. I was close enough to touch the young seal and to feel its fur and to be right there with it. And then to have the seal come up to the mother and the mother to roll over and expose her belly so that the baby could nurse right in front of me. To me, that said that neither of the seals were threatened by my presence. And I was inches away from one of the most basic things that happens in our universe. Mother feeding baby.
Next, we went to make contact with one of the few remaining populations of right whales. Right whales are comfortable in both warm and cold waters. But believe me, in this case, it was cold. When we first saw our first whale, I thought I was looking at a big piece of rock. And suddenly the thing blew its stack, and sure enough, it was a whale.
Is it moving at all? It's just staying right off the back of the bow. Okay.
Their backs are almost like tables. They're so big and so enormous that they just sort of go along the level of the water and then slowly curve away like the ends of the earth.
Go out there? Yep, right behind you. Right behind you.
Believe it or not, this whale was a baby, probably about 6 months old, and he could grow up to be 55 feet long and weigh as much as 100 tons. Just to put the mammoth size of these whales in perspective, an adult's tail, called a fluke, measures 15 feet across.
So here I was on this platform with these movie cameras rolling and people barking out directions at me. And I felt such a great responsibility to be a part of this movie that I was actually jumped off the boat in the water before I realized what I was doing and where I was. And the moment that I realized that this whale was turning with its huge head and its enormous body coming straight at me, I all of a sudden realized, what am I doing here? Why am I in the water? I'm making a movie, oh no.
We didn't know what to expect down there. I mean, we thought it was safe, but we really didn't know for sure. There's this 70 or 80-ton creature bearing down on you, and you'd think you'd really be scared, but for some reason you're not. And when they get right up next to you, they don't seem threatening. We ran into this juvenile at 70 feet. He seemed curious and approachable. But in this case, we'd moved too fast. We learned a big lesson. If you want to touch them, They have to make the first move.
Well, at first, I was really worried that, here I'd have to move quickly to move around the whale, and the whale moved around us. The whales slowed down, stopped, made an effort so that we could see them and the whale could see us. And there was something happening there. There was definitely some form of communication.
I was swimming next to a whale, and she really didn't seem to mind. It was sort of like she was going to allow me to get all of this sort of human silliness out of my system before I could really settle down and appreciate it. In contrast with her graceful movements, I sort of feel like I was a moth trying to land on a cow.
Wow! That was amazing! Did you see that?
We were right there.
That's so big. That eyeball's about this big.
He rotates around and looks at you. Flip up over to their side so they can get a better look at you. Woo. We saw that these whales were not disturbed by our presence and actually interested that we were in the water. They would actually turn around and come directly for us to get a closer look. And once we saw that, once we felt that, there was just, and the closeness too that we could get to them just sort of forced your hand. Just, you wanted to reach out and touch them just because you could, just because they were close enough that you could do it.
There is a feeling you get. It's an overwhelming sense of unity with a species that you never thought you could get close to. Experience with these whales was probably the most stunning experience of my life.
An incredible gift that the whales gave us, just the chance to be so close, to see what very few people get the chance to see. Much like the people on the moon. Very few people have ever stood on top of the moon. Well, I would venture to say that very few people have looked 6 inches away from the right whale's eye, right into the pupil, right into the inside of the whale. And hopefully the whale saw into us. I'll never forget the last day we spent out on the boat. The coldest day that we had been out. The smallest lunch that we had had. We had spent more hours in the water. We had spent more hours in the boat. And I've never seen happier faces the whole trip. We were with the whale for an hour and a half. People's faces were blue. Circulation was cut off in the toes. And everybody on that boat was smiling and giggling the whole way home. Right into the breeze, right into the cold. Staring it right in the face and loving it. Just because of what we had all seen.
What you're experiencing when you're in there with the whales is such a life-giving emotion. The thought does roll through your mind of whaling boats, of harpoons, of cannons. And to imagine these very whales being harpooned and
killed. And to somehow think of that while you're actually in the water with these guys is saddening indeed.
This right whale swam with us for over an hour. It showed no fear of humans, although it probably should have. The right whale's natural curiosity nearly led to its extinction. They actually approached whaling boats and became an easy target. Right whales were also easy to claim because they float when dead. So whalers found these creatures to be the right whale to kill. Although right whales are no longer hunted, others are. South of here, towards Antarctica, whales are still being slaughtered. Minke whales, like this one, are killed for their meat, which is in some parts of the world a $200 a pound delicacy. To kill out of necessity is the law of nature. To kill for no good reason is murder.
There's something each of us can do to save these creatures. Let's find out what it is and do it.
Because of my abiding concern for the survival of the ocean. I felt helpless as I watched human neglect, malice, and greed bring the ocean closer and closer to what I felt was the brink of disaster. But having gone through this experience, I learned something that for me was very profound. I had never put a face on the ocean. I had always seen it as this big, beautiful bowl of soup full of cryptic creatures that every once in a while would stick their head or tail or fin briefly above water, only to disappear again into the deep blue unknown. Well, now I see something different. I see a dolphin and her baby, full of grace and intelligence, engaging me in play, or a diving mask full of dolphins, teasing me, coercing me, laughing at my relative clumsiness. Or I see a 50 to 60-foot juvenile whale full of strength, curiosity, coming to me to be touched. In short, I see tenderness, grace, curiosity. I see intelligence, and dare I say it, love. And I think to myself, therein lies the true treasure. And also, therein lies the tragedy if it were to be lost. For as the dolphins and whales go, so goes the ocean. And I now finally know how much indeed we have to save. I'm Peter Horton.
Tonight, can rock and roll and comedy do something for the world? Don't miss the superstars and super music and super laughs for a super good reason. Because if the planet dies, there won't be any more television. Be with us for a music and comedy celebration. Hard Rock Cafe, Save the Planet. A CBS late night special tonight.
Transportation provided by Continental Airlines. Continental, working to be your choice to more than 100 destinations throughout the world.